until I hit my last breath. Music's everlasting even if past death. Not overacting, music's never past tense. Colliding with the greats, welcome to this crash test.
Alright, we are back for another episode of the BringTheBars podcast. As always, I'm your host, KC, and today we're bringing on a fellow Canadian as a guest by the name of R.A.P. That stands for Rhythm and Poetry. I'm excited to bring him on. Like I said, the first Canadian I've interviewed on this show, so I'm excited for this interview. And he has a lot of great music out on major platforms. I catch a lot of his on YouTube, but it's under MP Productions on YouTube. It's a capital M and a capital P. And yeah, you guys check him out there. He does a lot of remixes, and he has an album coming out in the near future. Everybody listening on Freedom K Radio, I appreciate you guys. Love that you guys tune in weekly. And if you want to catch up on older episodes, you just got to go on YouTube, type BringTheBars, and you can catch up on all older episodes, as well as some other shows called The Update, which is a show made by artists for artists, broken up into fun little segments. And there's also going to be the debut of the BTB Awards coming in early April. And then we're going to have a new show debuting called The Hangout, which is an uncensored video podcast of me just hanging out with other artists and other guests and just, talking a little bit. So, yeah, that's the intro to this episode. This is episode 25. R.A.P. is coming on. But before we bring him on, I'm going to run a track from him. So this is In the Deep.
I roll in the deep, where you only accept defeat. If your mind is weak, same shit I repeat, the toxins I breathe. I roll in the deep, where you only accept defeat. If your mind is weak, same shit I repeat. The toxins that I breathe, I'm talking about the atmosphere, not smoking the weed. Can you see the fire in my eyes when I blink? Learn to read between the lines to understand each other's lies. People wanna know what you think. I'm still trying to hide from the satellites in the sky. In disguise, that third eye lord of the ring.
We in the rain, in the deep. People don't understand that we are discreet. In the moves we make in a week, y'all cooking up beef. Little did you know that I'm ready to eat. Predator in the sea, like the shark with the teeth. Please just take a seat. If you're riding with me, you better support the team. And if you won't, I won't ask you kindly to leave. Throw you in the fire along with the grease. Please, we trying to get to the top from the bottom, running the game in a jog. They call me Rock'em Sock'em. Not everybody believes in God. That knowledge is common. The tip the edge, I fall off. I'm all in and I've fallen. Oh, am I truly one you would miss? I take a piss at the edge of the abyss and count every single wish that I could make music like this and reminisce to a time as simple as kids. But for now, I just sit up on my throne, not of the rap game, but of my own. As high as the sky, I'll never fly low. Dark with the force like Kylo, charge the game like a rhino. Old school, you think I'll be dropping vinyl, rolling in the deep, this is your final. Don't listen to me, don't be in denial. On trial for living life with a smile, that's my style. R.A.P. yo.
I roll in the deep, where you only accept defeat. If your mind is weak, same shit I repeat, the toxins I breathe. I roll in the deep, where you only accept defeat. If your mind is weak, same shit I repeat, the toxins that I breathe. I'm talking about the atmosphere, not smoking the weed. I roll in the deep, where you only accept defeat.
All right, so this is episode 25 of the Bring the Bars podcast, and we got R.A.P as our guest today. So what I want you to do is just introduce yourself to everybody out there, let them know who you are, what kind of music you create, and where they can find you.
Hey, so my name is R.A.P, stands for Rhythm and Poetry. I'm a rapper coming out of Canada, Toronto, just like my man KC right here. Basically, you can find me on all platforms: Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. I'm also on iTunes, Apple Music. Making some hip hop and can continue making some hip hop.
Perfect. How did the name R.A.P, Rhythm and Poetry, come about? Like, what made you decide on that name for your artist name?
Well, honestly, anybody who really knows me, like, they know I'm kind of a goofy guy. I've always been like the class clown kind of guy and stuff.
Yeah.
And basically, I like still having a message in my music, but I still kind of like being goofy in a way. But I still, when I started listening and actually listening to hip hop, I kind of fell in love with like the lyricism and like the poetic feeling behind like some lyricists, like the way they put stuff together. It just absolutely blows my mind still to this day and stuff, you know. So when I write music, I try to make it more of a poem, less of a, I don't know, less of a rap song, I guess.
Yeah, I can tell that in your music. And like you, man, I appreciate the absolute lyricism aspect of hip hop. Not so much the trap sounds and stuff like that, but the actual lyrical aspect. And you were saying, you know, you have you play around with your sound a lot going through your catalog, especially preparing for this interview. So if you're going to like describe your sound or style to someone who hasn't heard you yet, how would you describe that sound and style?
I don't know, honestly, like I'm very like versatile. I could do a lot of different styles. I find people like more of my like grimier stuff. Some people say like I have kind of a shady vibe sometimes. Some guy even said that I have a Weird Al vibe sometimes. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. I'm like, sure, whatever, man. I'll go with it. Weird Al, I like him. You know, he's a good lyricist himself too. Makes some good music. So
Yeah, man, let's take it as a compliment for sure. And I always feel you as almost a fit for right into strange music, really, overall, with the sound you have would be a perfect fit for that. And also, like you said, the shady sound for sure.
For sure, yeah. I've always liked strange music myself too. We've already talked about that too, you know, and like even blew my mind like the few tracks that you have yourself with Stevie Stone and stuff. Like I find him, I respect him as an artist so much because just his voice, like he was made to make music. That guy, like it's crazy.
Incredible voice. Tech Nine brings the lyrics, but Stevie Stone just has this standout voice that you know, you can hear a lot of artists sometimes, and sometimes you can't differentiate between because they sound the same. But when Stevie Stone hits it, you know it's his voice.
100%.
And this is the first time I actually interviewed a fellow Canadian on this show, so I was actually pumped for that. And I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on Canadian hip hop today with artists like, let's say, Mercules, Dax, even Snack the Ripper starting to make a name for themselves? Where do you think Canadian hip hop is going, and do you think it can improve even more?
Honestly, I find it's really crazy because, like, obviously being from Canada, like we've been listening to these people this entire time, right? And like,
yeah,
we've just been watching them like slowly blowing up, and now that the whole world's starting to actually like appreciate like Mercules, Dax too. Like Dax, like, but he's the one that won that one take contest that Futuristic put out, right? And yeah, that's where he really started blowing up. And I started listening to his stuff. He did that track with Hobson. That was like the I Don't Need You or something like that. I forget what it's called. But anyways, yeah, so I started listening to Dax. I didn't even know he was from Ottawa. I found that out, and it's crazy just hearing all these people are blowing up from Canada. And I honestly, I really, it gives us hope up here in the North, you know, because like people, obviously everybody likes Drake. Everybody knows who Drake is and stuff.
Yeah.
And I found like Drake got a lot of his, how do you say, like drive like musically, and like a lot of stuff that he learned from Lil Wayne, right? Because Lil Wayne used to put so much music out, and then Lil Wayne stopped putting music out, and all of a sudden Drake's putting a ton of music out, and he's just like, you know, it's like passing the torch down kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I remember when Drake was first kind of breaking out, and it was like kind of a moment because I was pumped. It was like, oh, this guy from Canada, you know, he's really making a name for himself. But at that time too, I was really into Mercules. Like you said, we followed these guys from when they were kind of just regional and just nationwide for Canada. And I was kind of upset because I always liked Mercules style more than Drake. So in my head, I was always, how come he's getting all the love and Mercules isn't getting any? But now Mercules is getting all the love. That guy has pushed so much work out, and he keeps creating fire music. He's one of my tops for sure.
100% for real. Yeah, I find Mercules, he was a little bit, I don't know, like a little bit more grimier when he first started, a little bit more aggressive and stuff. And like Drake, I just has more like a, how do you say, like a palatable style, I find, right? So like anybody who likes any type of music could listen to a certain Drake song and be like, oh, okay, I sort of like it, even though they don't want to admit it, type of thing, you know?
That's what it's kind of become now. It's funny when guys hit a certain status, you know, like Drake or even Eminem lately, it's almost a thing to hate on them now. It's like the cool thing to hate him, and how can you not respect? I'm not a massive Drake fan, but I respect what he did, and I know why people listen to him. He has such a mainstream sound, like you said, for, you know, palatable taste for music, and it just spreads. Great interview so far. We're going to have to take a little break and run another track from R.A.P., and this is Criminal Minds.
Is that it, sweetie?
Why don't you go fuck yourself, Tommy?
That's fucking right. I don't believe what I just heard.
Hey, Spider, here. Yeah, this is for you. Attaboy.
I got respect for this. He's got a lot of fucking balls.
Good for you. Don't take no shit off nobody.
He shoots him in the foot. He tells him to go fuck himself. You gonna let him get away with that? You gonna let this fucking punk get away with that? What's the matter? What's the world coming to?
What the fucking world is coming to? How do you like that?
I'm a criminal, my message is non-subliminal. Take you out back and drown you in a swimming pool and stab you in the face with a knitting tool. Split into a katana because I'm the illest fucking kid in school. Now class is in session, I'm way more hectic than expected. So now isn't a good time to be narcoleptic. I'm flexing, 705 I'm repping. Schizo like Jared Bender, like Kawhi stepping. And the opposition is counting all the points they let in. Call me Jeffrey Dahmer, the people nommer. Body is sponsor, murderous said what I'm doing a concert. Your honor, to give it to you proper. I'm not guilty of a thing besides trying to divide and conquer and prosper. Trying to murder this jogger and get rid of this toddler because the devil made me an offer of a girl with a set of fantastic knockers. Off a rocker, shocker, she won't shut up and tell me she's not a talker. Step bro, I'm stuck and I'm like, dude, I am your father. Yeah, this world's fucked, but so what? It's not gonna stop me from living it up. Criminal mind, sadistic as fuck, not hoping for much. But really, what can you expect from a man being so stuck? So I wasn't up praying one night and asking to be in the same state of mind as Charles Manson. But now I've taken Satan's hand, and as we started dancing, I'm murdering all in sight while we were listening to Hanson, Ted Bundy and Ted Danson. Run into his mansion to take his frustrations out and do it with a passion. Paint the bloody walls like it was a pageant, pulling these cards like Gambit. A loaded 44 he hands him, says Black Betty better not jam when he rams it. Life is crazy, maybe shady. The only lady that could save me is money, so fuck you, pay me, do it, baby. Hear me saying in your ear, my whole career is on a different tier. Rappers have the rear fear, they'll never make it here. Edward with the shears, crying tears while stabbing all of his peers. Having a couple beers in the bathroom mirror on cheers. I want to make it very clear to steer away from any investment involving fears.
Can I talk to your manager?
Sure, Karen, just step inside. But if you ask for my manager one more time, I'll stick your head where we fry our fries. Deep fry your eyes and make sure I poison everything that she buys. That's her demise if she tries to tell me I don't run the ship like the Enterprise. How I'll enter thighs, pull a ribcage from her inner thighs, leaving her looking vandalized, screaming why. I just wanted to try for no charge to get my drink supersized. Murder her with my car for my Uber ride and let you decide whether that's suicide or us evolving to a newer time where we don't get pushed aside. Criminal mind is what I'm no longer trying to hide. R.A.P.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh, I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
And a lot of your catalog is rap remixes, especially on your YouTube channels. Is there a remix you would like to do in the future that you haven't gotten to yet? And also, is there a beat or a song that you just wouldn't remix it because you just can't touch the original, where it's to you, it's untouchable, I'll never remix this track?
I've always been a fan of Schoolboy for a while since he first popped out and stuff, and I really like the beats that the whole TDE crew comes out with, like Schoolboy and Kendrick and J Rock and Absol and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? And I want to do a Birds and the Bees remix with Schoolboy and Kendrick. I want to do that beat.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Man, there was this song I was thinking about the other day. I don't remember what it's called right now, but it was by Webby, Chris Webby, and I absolutely love, one of my favorite artists. I've been listening to him since he first started putting stuff out on YouTube, like so long ago.
Yeah,
And
there too.
yeah, I can't remember what the song is. I wanted to do a remix of his song ever since I first heard it come out, but I knew I couldn't touch it because he's the man, right? Like Chris Webby, like as a lyricist, is absolutely nuts, crazy.
Yeah, he is, and he's kind of started that new trend because I don't know, like we were talking Mercules earlier, he's doing like Merc Mondays now, and you have all these guys doing like weekly drops. For me, that was a big start for Webby Wednesdays.
Oh yeah, Webby Wednesdays that's been around for a while, and he's just been so consistent with his music. The same thing as Drake, you know, he's just putting out his music the same rate as Drake was putting out music, just not as like commercialized and stuff, you know.
Yeah, and talking to you, I've talked with you many times before this interview, and you were lucky enough to see Webby live. And for him being one of your biggest influencers and one of your favorites, how was that whole experience for you?
Oh man, that experience was honestly like unreal because like a few people had bought the all access pass like I have, but they had left a little bit earlier, so really like it was only me and a few people and Webby at the end, and he it was funny because he came off after his performance and he went into the backstage and he came back upstairs and he just randomly asked me because I was standing there waiting to go see him, and he's like, "Hey, did you see a jewel pod around?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Oh, I threw my jewel pod in the crowd and I lost it, man. I kind of wanted it." And it's funny because it's just like a super simple thing, but it makes a person that has such an untouchable status that you think you could never speak to or anything just look like such a normal, simple person, you know, like.
It's crazy how you can kind of almost you kind of get starstruck because the same happened with me when I met Tech Nine, and at first I kind of just stood there awestruck for about 5 minutes before I was like, yeah, I gotta just talk to this guy like a normal person and not look at him as, you know, this guy that I grew up with in hip hop that is in my top 5. But it was a hell of an experience.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be lying if I didn't say there was not a little bit of liquid courage involved in that interaction.
Yeah, same on my end, man. Is there another artist that you would love to see live that would be on your bucket list to do so?
Oh, I have so many artists. So I don't just listen to hip hop. I like many different genres of music for many different reasons. But in hip hop, I'll give you 2 artists I'd love to see. In hip hop, I would love to see Khan. I don't know if you heard who Khan is.
No, not off the top of my head. If I heard a song, maybe it would strike me, but the name doesn't strike anything right now.
Yeah, this guy, honestly, he is such an amazing lyricist, and the way he raps so fast. It doesn't even, it's like he has 3 lungs, man. Like he's just going and he never stops and he just never breathes or anything. It's insane. But I want to I want to listen to this guy live first of all, but I also want to meet him live and just pick his brain because he seems like such a knowledgeable person, you know.
Yeah, you'll have to send me a link to one of his tracks after this interview so I can check it out.
Oh yeah, 100%. He just actually dropped a new album I think last month. He has a song on it called Joe Rogan. It's actually pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to definitely check that out. Like it's crazy with this since I started this podcast thing is a lot of people will bring up artists, and I thought I have a pretty thorough knowledge of hip hop from the start and everything, but everybody always throws an artist at me where I'm like, I don't know if I heard them. You got to send me a link. Maybe the song will strike me and be like, oh yeah, I heard that. And other times, I just get new artists added to my playlist. So it's great how everybody. It's funny how you can always ask 10 different people their top 10 artists, and you're gonna get 10 different answers.
It's true. And that's why, like, you know, people don't like your music. Some people just don't like your music. There's so many people in the world that like different things that, like, you just can't force somebody to like something, you know? It's crazy.
No, you can't please everybody. And You were mentioning earlier about like different styles, different genres you listen to. Outside of hip hop, what would be your top genres that you tune into?
So I love listening to. Well, I like classic rock. I'm also a huge metalhead too.
Yeah, classic
Um,
rock as well.
not a fan. You know, I've listened to a few of your interviews, and I find a lot of people saying that they're not a fan of country, and I'm not a fan of country to be honest. Like,
Me neither.
I grew up with like old country, you know. Like I listened to some Garth Brooks. I'd rock some Garth Brooks or like the Road Hammers and stuff like that, you know. But
Yeah, only one for me would be Johnny Cash. Would be just one of my
yeah,
tops
Johnny
for that.
Cash for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, for me, System of a Down. I absolutely love System of a Down.
yeah, they're dope.
Only I specifically like them because they each have like masters in different types of music. So they all brought different types of music together to make one beautiful kind of sound, you know?
Yeah,
And the lead singer, he has a background in opera singing. And I find any metal singer who has a background in opera singing is the most interesting kind of vocalist you could listen to because they're able to hit so many different ranges. Like it's so beautiful to listen to when you actually like just sit there and actually like vibe out to it, you know?
yeah, and he holds himself. He holds his own on hip hop songs too, like the one he did with Tech Nine. That was incredible.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was an amazing song. Yeah, for me, I would have to say, like, for me, classic rock, I have mad respect for System of a Down, but one of my favorites, even on top of all rap artists and stuff, for me is Alice Cooper. I don't know why, I just always loved Alice
Yeah.
Cooper.
Alice Cooper for sure. He's always had the flash and flare, right?
Yeah, I got to see him live twice, and it was a blast both times.
Nice, nice.
And going back to your music a little bit, going through a lot of your catalog, you kind of pick darker tone instrumentals. You have a darker tone to you as well, but you get really creative on your beat choices too. What is your process of picking out an instrumental? What do you look for something that you want to write to?
Generally, when I'm looking for anything I want to write to, if it's sometimes it's just sent to me, and like I have like some people who'll just send me like 10, 15, 20 different beats, and I'll just listen to them and see if I vibe with any of them, right? Like my main thing is vibing to a beat because I feel like when people listen to music, it's either to dive into emotion or to escape emotion type thing, right? So you want to be able to make a kind of experience for them so that they could feel what you're feeling or you guys could feel something together so they either feel like they're not alone or whatever, you know? Like basically
Yep.
you want to be able to make something that feels genuine, right? Because some people make some music and it sounds so fake. Like if they try to express an emotion or an experience they've never actually felt for themselves, you could
Yeah.
tell it doesn't feel genuine. It's not from like a deep place or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was like my old music when I started rapping at 14, 15. I didn't have any life experiences, but I talked like I knew them, and they all turned out like crap.
Yeah, so when I'm trying to get like a beat or anything like that, basically I just try to have like any kind of vibe to it, whether it's like somewhat of a darker vibe, you know, like I'm feeling kind of like I have this one song, Criminal Mind, where I just kind of felt like I don't know, kind of like Insane Clown Posse meets Eminem type of style, even though that would
Yeah.
never happen in real life, you know. And I don't know, I have certain beats where they just put me in a certain mood, and even if you know, like I don't feel that like in the certain or in that specific time, I could just plunge myself into that experience or emotion and just come out with something beautiful sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy how just going through and even a beat you can hear one day that doesn't really strike you, maybe in months down the road, something can happen and that beat will hit you and you'll be like, oh man, where was that beat? Like it just, your whole mindset can change by the day of what you want to write and how you want to write it.
Yeah, that's true, and like, oh, that's why I have this one song, Havana, my Havana remix, and I think
love
I've already
that
mentioned.
song, man. I really do actually really love that song.
Yeah, and I love that. I love the writing process for that song because the first verse of that song was while I was with the girl that I was talking about in the song, and the next two verses are well, the second verse was like while we were breaking up, and the third verse is like 3 years down the line like, I don't need her anymore type of thing. But it's like, it's so crazy because I'm used to just like banging out songs, writing the song, whenever I'm done writing this song, I'm done writing that song. But that one, it was just like 3 different mindsets, it's crazy. It's cool how it came together.
3 different versions of yourself throughout life. It was nice how you did that. It's cool that you put it together that way. When you started writing it, did you just start off with the verse and leave it empty, or did you have it all written out at first, and as the years went on, you started changing the verses?
No, so actually, like that relationship I was in actually wasn't that great whatsoever, to be honest. And yeah, so I wrote I wrote the first verse because like like it was like the honeymoon stage, in a relationship, and I was like, oh, I really like this girl, and I was like, I'm gonna write this song for this girl, and she's gonna love it, blah blah blah, all this shit. And then yeah, it ended up being like that, man. I wrote the verse and I couldn't feel that much about it anymore, That's all I really liked about her was her looks, to be honest. Not to sound like a douchebag or anything, but there was no there was no actual connection, and it was just whatever. It is what it is,
Yeah, it turned out great in the long run. I love that whole concept. When you told me that, because the first time I heard that song, I told you about it, and you told me that process of it. And then I was like, wow, that's really creative. Even if it wasn't planned or it was planned, what a way to put together the track, man. So mad props to you on that one.
Yeah, it's totally by accident.
Now it's time for Random Bars. This is a segment of the show where one lucky member of the Bring the Bars Facebook group gets randomly chosen to have a track aired during an episode for you guys here on Freedom K Radio and also on YouTube. And this week we had a winner by the name of Dana Coppafeel. He's part of Lost Boys Music. We actually had 2 of his label mates as guests before, so hopefully we'll get him on in the near future with Bobby Mercer and Bad Habit. They make incredible music, Lost Voice Music, check it out. But this is Dana Coppafeel. He just released his EP on Bandcamp right now, and this is one of the singles off the EP, and this is Pancakes.
Yeah, check it. Yeah, I flip a verse like a pancake. Yeah, I flip a verse like a pancake. My chips in line, how I connect for. I've been the dope, so what do I need a connect for? My future bright, the only thing that I invest more. Your animals is getting touched now like a pet store. Vex more, others bullshit, I can't stress more. Press forward, looking fresh, Lord, praying hand emojis. My haters wanna smoke me, I'm pushing hard, now they wanna quote me. Or box me in, try to rope and dope me. You better all scope me, keeping your distance like you come from Skokie. Claiming you from the city, then come and show me. I'm low-key, you use technology like you Loki. Building with the older guys from the knowledge daddy showed me. Yeah, I flip a verse like a pancake, and you can tell that they fake from their handshakes. We get the bands from the plans laid, cruising the landscape. My cut covered like a Band-Aid, and I can spot a phony eating on my abalone. Shit going crazy since the minute that they asked my story. I'm on the path to glory, the Valhalla, and that shit'll really happen for me. And I'm just passing 40. I out-rap any rapper in my category. Avoid he's on the track, just asking for me. You in the penthouse, right? That shit a half a story, like your half a story. Applying pressure so they can't ignore me. And love is cheap, but they can't afford me. It's all facts, how that for an allegory. Cause I'm back like the cats that came before me. We killing rap and it's getting gory. I flip a verse like a pancake, and you can tell that they fake from their handshakes. We getting bands from the plans laid, cruising the landscape. My cut covered like a Band-Aid. Yeah, my cut covered like a Band-Aid. Yeah, my cut covered like a Band-Aid.
All right, we're going to hit a mid-segment of the interview, and this is Rate the Bars. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm sure you might know about it, but people listening to won't know. I'm just going to name an artist out to you, and you rate them out of 10 and let me know why you rated them that rating. And I'm
All
going to
right.
start off with you with actually a Canadian guy is Classified.
Classified. Um, I like Classified. I'd probably give Classified about a 7 or 8. I respect him because he represents for Canada and he's always been true to like Nova Scotia and all of his roots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I find lyrically he could develop a little bit more, in my opinion. Like I'm not the greatest or anything, but it's just in my opinion. But yeah, he stays true to who he is, and I 100% respect that.
He's kind of like one of the OGs of Canadian hip hop branching out. Everybody
Yeah,
from like when I
100%.
was back in early high school was, we all knew who Classified was. All right, now we're going to head off to Ritz.
Oh man, probably have to give Ritz probably a 9.5. I don't want to give him a 10 because I know there's better artists and stuff in my opinion, but like this man has really good rhymes. He has good rhyme schemes. He has good flow. I like how he puts music together. Yeah, I've really enjoyed listening to anything by Ritz.
Yeah, same here. He would be one of my top 10 changes every day, but I love Ritz and respect him fully. We're going to go to actually an artist we were talking a little bit about earlier is Hopsin.
Ooh, Hopsin. Honestly, I have to give Hopsin a 10 because I find like even though he's like in the spotlight and he's been for a while, he's still not as popular as I find he should be, because like even himself like we were talking about earlier, like speaking true through your music, like he's always done that. He's never been fake about who he is or anything like that, and man, sometimes you could pick it up like it's like with the lyricism and with the flow and stuff, and Hopson's really good. Yeah, I really like Hopsin.
Yeah, especially now he's just he keeps evolving, and you're saying how he speaks the truth, and a lot of people always categorize him as the people don't like him as corny because when he did first come out, he was really goofy with his rhymes and with like sag my pants and stuff like that. So I think everybody got that perception of him right away, and it kind of stunted his growth a little bit compared to now where pretty much everything he puts out has a meaning behind it and you can feel his emotion coming out of it. He would be 9 to 10 for me as well.
Yeah, see, and that's why I rate him that high too, is because like when you talk to me about like an artist, like a true artist is someone who creates something, and I find Hopsin could like really create, like even the stories he tells with his Ill Mind of Hopsin, like the different videos and stuff he has, like he really creates and paints a picture not only with his music but like with everything as a whole.
Yeah, and we're gonna actually end it off with a couple groups for this segment. First group will be D12.
Honestly, I like D12. It's hard to rate them though because I find like some of them are such good lyricists and some of them are so simple but just funny. Like it's just that's
Bizarre.
their style. That's who they are. Yeah, like I don't know. You know what? I give them a 6. Like I don't want to bash D12 because they're awesome. I've always enjoyed their music, but like I said, like some of them are really good lyricists and some of them are just very simple lyricists, in my opinion.
Yeah, you said it exactly right. It's really hard to do it because you got some that stand out way more than others, especially when you got like Proof and stuff like that. They stood out more than, in my opinion, Bizarre.
Yeah.
But I still highly respect Bizarre because he did his thing and he stuck with it and he made some moves with it.
Yeah, and like no disrespect to anybody in that group, but there's some people that are even like, I have friends of mine that showed me a song. And they're like, "Yeah, this guy was a D12." I'm like, "This guy was a D12." I'm like, "I don't think so, man. I've never heard of this guy," But
and the other side of that, we're gonna go to 50 Cent's one when it first started, the original G Unit. Not after everybody was kicked out. The original G Unit.
Man, the original G Unit. They'd have to be high up there for me because like I said, like about like artists, musicians, like creating, right? But like they made music, they made a whole image behind their music, a whole thug image, like
yeah.
When I was growing up, man, so many people were going out and buying G Unit this and G Unit that, and like
I was one of them, man.
Oh yeah, man. People had 50 Cent CD, people had Lloyd Banks CD, people had everything, man. Like like they when you have to look at them as a whole, as a group, you have to look at what they created as an image at the same time, right? I would definitely say innate, definitely.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. They made a huge mark. You're talking about getting the clothes in high school. I had the jeans, the t-shirt, and the hoodie, all June it, rocking it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
All right, another little quick break from the interview. I'm going to run another track from R.A.P, and this is Satan's Game.
People have their demons and their addictions. I'm just thankful that my addiction's rap, hip-hop. R.A.P, let's get though. People don't get what I really mean. I'm Mr. Clean on Listerine and methamphetamine mixed with that ketamine. Wow. Yeah. Visual artistry, that is my specialty, but only musically is what you'll expect from me. Why so obscene, this is the recipe. I need to grow like a tree into a better me, and kill the game repetitively until a felony is placed ahead of me. Live, laugh, smile, nothing upsetting me. I guess I just need to let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it, let it be. Is it what I need to be? The obscenity of the scenery. They see me as a deity with a finicky delivery, all out like an eatery with the pen. They call me Petery on the level like the totter that is teetery. Here to read about all I say, all these beats that I just slayed won't stop till I get paid. Might as well just stay on page, or you'll find me at the main long gates asking about the ping pong rates and everyone how Long John tastes while blowing up everything that Kim Jong hates. Wait, back to the bars and the metaphors. I'm not trying to start a better war. I'm not trying to end up in the metal ward, making music like Hendrix trying to hit another chord. I promise you're never bored, like watching idiots argue with the senator. Place I've never been before. Tell me, son, have you ever sinned before? Have you ever tried to win before? Have you ever left everything you loved gone with the wind before? No, you probably haven't. I'm still one of the baddest. Even if Peter Piper tried to pick a pepper, he probably wouldn't be able to catch us. Ashes, batches, that's how this phoenix rises after he crashes. Matchsticks, cactus, that's me in the hottest place in the atlas. Panics, I'm just trying to make these mad libs rats. It doesn't really matter if you try to count my bars, because I know you couldn't really add shit. I'm wondering if I should tone it down. There's enough of me to go around for these rappers trying to call me out, trying to take it back to 76 because we had a falling out and think they're balling now. No way to calm them down. I think I'm about to vomit now. Like I think I've lost it now. Get the torches and pitchforks because here comes the monster sound. Won't stop till I elevate, and me and my team, we can celebrate. Behind these bars like a felon's weight, trying to expectate. Woo, put them in a neck brace. I guess next time you won't try to flex, eh? Sorry, my Canadian came out, suck my dick and tell me how the rest tastes. Didn't mean to hurt you, but the next time I'm investing, I'm expecting to be on the top rope like wrestling. Go get him, kid. Well, what else would you expect from him? He's going to be as big as Texas is. Winner, chicken dinner. Man's killed it, but he didn't lift a finger. Ha, what a stupid joke. I'm not talking about Saints bars, I'm talking about your life, bro. I guess the only way you'll understand is if I speak Canadian, because it's always lights out.
And we're going to go back to your music after that segment now, and I want to talk to you. We've been talking a little bit about it, but you're working on your real debut album. So what can we expect from the album that you're going to try to make stand out or be different than what you already released? And do you have like a set topic of how you want the album to sound?
Honestly, I don't really have a set topic of how I want the album to sound. I kind of made something where it just speaks to a bunch of different experiences, and it's kind of a roller coaster throughout the album, you know? Like, I don't know. I just I felt like touching a bunch of different kind of areas to try to hit a bunch of different target audiences with my album, if possible, you know?
Yeah, well, you got the sound and the creativity for it, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna. Any idea of like how many tracks you're looking at or anything like that for the album?
I'm thinking of putting, let's see, about maybe 13, 14 tracks on it.
Yeah, that's nice.
I do have a few things that might stand out. I have a few ciphers that might come out with different artists. I know I have 2 ciphers on my album and stuff. So that'll be awesome too, because it'll be reaching out to different different target groups, different core groups and stuff that I usually speak to and stuff, you know.
Yeah, those are always a blast to do, absolutely. And it's just you can kind of let loose on a cipher, especially with just a basic cipher with no real topic or anything like that. You just let it loose, drop a solid 16, 20, 24 bars, whatever it is. I have a blast doing ciphers.
Same here, man.
One thing I want to start asking my guests, I started doing a little recently on the shows, but I mentioned it in my last interview, but what's one artist that is really highly respected, but you can just never get into, and that it just never hits you the right way? Like on my last episode, for me, I talked about was Jay-Z. I respect the hell out of him, and I know he's an incredible talent, but I just could never really just dive headfirst into his catalog. So is there an artist like that for you that you respect, it's respect and it's good, it just doesn't resonate with you?
Man, some people might hate me, but
people hate me for the Jay-Z one, man.
Okay, so I don't know what it is, but I used to listen to what's his name, A$AP Rocky a lot.
Yeah.
And I just can't listen to him anymore, man, because I feel like he doesn't really talk about anything. All he's been talking about for all this time, these past cajillion years he's been out for, is whatever he's wearing at the time or whatever he's driving in and stuff. And I can't really listen to his music anymore because I find it's just not in my taste, Like, I keep trying, and I have sometimes some interactions with people. They're like, yo, you got to listen to this song. And I'll listen to it because Tyler, the creator's on it or some shit like that, and I don't know. I can't listen to his music anymore for some reason. It just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, and that happens to everybody. It's funny. Everybody always has that one that just, not to hate on them or anything like that, it just doesn't resonate with you as a person. Of course, for me, I respect Jay-Z, and there's quite a few tracks like Dirt Off Your Shoulder and, I love Run This Town and stuff like that I love, but his overall, it just never hit me how it hit other people. Like, they get so excited when an album's coming or anything Jay-Z releases, and I'm always like, I'll get around to it when I can.
Yeah, same.
Do you remember the first time you heard a hip hop or rap song, and what drew you into the genre? Like when you heard it that very first time?
So anybody who knows me knows that I'm a super huge fan of karaoke. I absolutely love karaoke. There is this man, I don't even remember what it was called. It was like this campground I went to with my parents once, and they had like this little karaoke thing going on, and it was the song "Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous" by Good Charlotte. It's not even a rap song, but there is rap in it.
I thought you were about to say "Lifestyle of the Poor and Dangerous." I was like, they have big
No, man. So, yeah, I sang that song in front of everybody, and then I had really a lot of fun doing like the rap part of it, right? But I always had a lot more fun singing. But so I was about in 8th grade or whatever, and at the end of my 8th grade, I hit puberty, like some people do, and I totally lost my my self-confidence to be able to sing, but I still enjoyed writing music. So that's when I decided to get really more into hip hop and less into anything else, because I found like hip hop, you're able to speak on a beat. Like, it still takes talent, obviously, but you're able to create more of a focus more on the words and less on the vocalization, because I don't have to worry about the keys and pitches and all that stuff. Like, I could just pour my heart out on a track. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly like your name says, it's poetry with music is basically what rap is, which the part I love about it. For me, I don't even remember going back. It would have been the Slim Shady LP that I would have heard first when I was 9-10 years old, but I don't remember what song got me in. And then I remember kind of leaving it. I was still on my rock side. I was really into classic rock, the Metallicas, even all that stuff at the time. And then Purple Pills came out from D12. And when I heard that, I was like, I love this genre of music. I got to study this.
See, me when I started really diving like really deep into it is when they had the whole white boy movement coming out, is what I call it. When they had Asher Roth, Logic, MGK, Chris Webby, and Mac Miller, all five of them dropping on YouTube on the daily, and just, man, that's like, I was listening to these guys and I'm like, bro, like I really like the music that these guys are putting out, and like let's do this, you know, like they just got me all pumped. I started writing music and stuff, and that's really what got me into it, is that whole small era right there.
Yeah, and it's funny with it too, man. Once it draws you in, man, it keeps you there and it holds you there. It's it's almost a love-hate with people with rap too, especially the older generation, the generation before us, like my dad and stuff. I don't know about your parents, but they don't like hip-hop. My dad doesn't at all. He doesn't get it. He just doesn't understand anything what it's about.
Well, it's the thing too, is that like hip-hop's evolved like with the entire thing, right? So even just like hip-hop first started as more of like something for like people to express like the Black oppression and stuff like that, right? And like struggles that they've had, and all of that stuff, right? So like essentially that's the kind of image that it had before, because you have like the Public Enemy coming out, and like NWA, like the Police and stuff, and like those are all fire songs. Don't get me wrong or anything, but that's like them speaking of their experiences, which I've never personally had myself, right? So that's something where like my parents or my grandparents are sitting there listening to freaking Led Zeppelin or Metallica or whatever, you know, and now it's more of just a struggle period. Like people, well, it's not sorry, that can't be said. It's still about the struggle period, but it's also, there's half of it that is just about flashing stuff that you don't necessarily own, in my opinion.
Yeah, it has gone flashy, and it does change. It changes almost yearly, the style of hip hop every year. Like you were saying, when the NWAs and stuff first came out, and what I liked about that is when I first went back and started listening back to like Tupac and NWA and Biggie, it shone light on like how they're really living. It was something, you know, at 10 years old, I didn't know about ghettos or anything like that. I was a lower middle class kind of family, and I didn't know how hard they had it. And it brought this whole new lifestyle into my ears, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like they really did what they were meant to do, you know, like they wanted to go touch as many people as they can and share their problems and their struggle and what they've been through and stuff, you know, and like we don't know anything like that, and our parents are just going to turn around and talk to us about it, you know, and our same thing with like our teachers and our schools, and there's not going to be an adult just going to sit you down randomly and talk to you about this, you know, like it has to be brought up first. Yeah,
and it was perfect timing for them to do it as well. 100%. Looking at the time here, we're going to have to hit the end segment of this interview, and this is the Name Your Bar segment.
All right.
So basically what I'm going to do is just read a line or two from a bar or two from one of your tracks, and let's see if you can tell me which track these bars are from.
All right, I'll try to remember them.
All right, we got 5 lined up here, and I'll start with the first one. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing bad about chasing paper, grind all day long, and share it with your neighbors.
Are We Equals?
No, it's not Are We Equals.
Man, that's horrible.
That one is No Tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Don't get me wrong, there's nothing bad about chasing paper. Grind all day long and share it with your neighbors. Hit heavy like a gong when you're not hanging with the haters. They won't love you when you're gone, just see them saying, see you later, Gator.
All right, we're going to head on to the second one is rotisserie cook till you are slowly done. Coming up with the team so I know my homies won.
That would be Homesick.
That is Homesick. 1-1, man.
Rotisserie cook until y'all slowly done. Coming up with the team so I know my homies won. Perry, check the time on your rolly, son. Sneaks past when you smoke because I know you owe me one.
We're going to go to the third one and show you should get this one, I think, but a man she can tease with ease, do it till he bleeds, and she proceeds to turn 180 degrees.
That would be my Havana remix.
Yep. I've been bumping that, man. Since you sent that to me, I can never get that whole thing out of my head. And I told you that before, but I want to say it again. I love that song, man.
Thank you very much, man.
A man she could tease with ease, do it until he bleeds, and she proceeds to turn 180 degrees. Leave and just destroy his self-esteem. She's a queen, but like a fiend, she can't keep herself.
The fourth one here is, but they can't handle the heat you would get from most cuisine. Funny how I used to wish people would notice me.
That would be Music Equals Everything.
That's another great one too, and the hook on that is incredible too for that track.
Oh, so catchy.
It is, man. I always get it stuck in my head after I hear it.
But they can't handle the heat you would get from most cuisine. Funny how I used to wish people would notice me, but with the growing popularity, I want to say no to greed, because music is my everything, yo, everything.
Okay, we're on the final one. You actually only missed one, so let's see if you can get 4 out of 5. And this is, now it's your turn to come back and take the night, and it's mine to come back and take the mic and tell you that you're not worthless.
That'd be Losing My Mind.
It's your turn to come back and take the night, and it's mine to come back and take the mic and tell you that you're not worthless.
There you go, man. You just missed the very first one.
Oh, man. I totally blanked out. I was just like nervous, you know?
Oh, man, it happens. You did well, though. 4 out of 5, man. Props to you.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, that's the interview. I want to thank you for coming on. Keep in touch. I know we got some stuff coming, so I'm excited for that. Keep me in touch with the album. I'd love to bring you back on to further promote the album when it drops. And yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show.
Oh, no problem at all, man. Thank you very much for having me. I'm more than happy to come on anytime you need me. I love talking to my fellow Canadians, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. We the North, right?
We the North, man.
There we go. Another episode of Bring the Bars podcast is officially done. I'd like to thank everybody who tunes in, either on radio, on YouTube, or however you guys tune in. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, R.A.P, for hopping on. I had a blast doing this interview. Would love to have you back. And yeah, basically, thank you to everybody. Like I said, find us on YouTube. Tune in on Freedom K Radio if you're listening. We air every Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesdays 12 p.m. Eastern and Thursdays 1 p.m. Eastern. Tune in live there if you want to catch it live, and tune into other great shows on Freedom K Radio. There's so many great podcasts and music on this on this station, so you guys keep tuning in. But yeah, I was your host, KC. You guys stay safe out there. And actually, before I let you guys go, I'm going to run a couple more tracks from R.A.P to end this episode off. So I'm going to run Losing My Mind and Razor Blade and Steak Knives. All right, guys. Peace.
This one's close to my heart. Losing my mind, but does it really matter? I'm standing in line for the life of happiness ever after. Sometimes I just want to go away, but realize the world wouldn't change. Can someone please take away some bearable amount of little pain? I know it's hard, but it's hard for all of us. But from the start, we have a higher calling, and you, they're calling up. We can all take charge together, nothing is stopping us. Together we can't be stopped, can't be bought, can't be dropped. And also we can't be rocked. We rocking them back like we're Ollie. All humans walking around sad. Remember, we are all godly. People from broken homes get into fights with a broken nose and feeling like your life is spiraling out of control. You're not alone, look around, I bet you somebody knows about all your troubles and all of your woes. Let's stand together and battle back all of your foes and show them that you are the king of your throne, and teach everyone that this child is grown. Wouldn't that be nice? Why wouldn't that be right? Why shouldn't that be life? People looking for answers but can't find advice. Going nowhere, frozen in a block of ice. Now it's your turn to come back and take the night, and it's mine to come back and take the mic and tell you that you're not worthless. Others like you and me don't need to be worshipped like crosses in churches. You can be what you wanna be, you just get to working. I promise you that you get what you want once you try to put the work in. Losing my mind, but does it really matter? Standing in line for the life of happiness ever after. Sometimes I just wanna go away, but realize the world wouldn't change. Can someone please take away this unbearable amount of little pain? So share the chip on your shoulder, or it's already over. You can't wish on the luck of a clover. This whiz kid has got the mind of a stoner. I just want peace, tranquility, and love all over. It's not too late to start fresh like a new date. We can all cop a new slate. No need to be a bad man, be a Batman, Bruce Wayne. When life's taking the bad path, just throw it some loose change. We've all been down and out from someone's word of mouth, or everyone coming in trying to turn it up loud. But we got bills to think about and we need to pay them. Some kind of way I'm feeling now in the message that I'm relaying. I'm saying no need to sound with Satan. Emotions genuine when I try to make them. Fuck these false allegations. R.A.P. one love, you know I'm the greatest. The real rap, I can never fake this. Losing my mind, but does it really matter? Standing in line for the life of happiness ever after. Sometimes I just wanna go away, but realize the world wouldn't change. Can someone please take away this unbearable amount of little pain? You need to one up like Mario with the mushroom, straight to the top, even if there ain't much room. Don't call it off, you just need to push through. If your path is blocked, use your will and fucking punch through. Victory is sweet, do believe, just like Kool-Aid with that punch juice. Don't be weak, you're unique. Fuck these qualities if they judge you. Losing my mind, but does it really matter? I'm standing in line for the life of happiness ever after. Sometimes I just wanna go away, but realize the world wouldn't change. Can someone please take away this unbearable amount of little pain? It's R.A. to the P. Check this. Yeah. People say I'm a loser, my anger about to lose her. Shove haters in the Mini Cooper with Alice Cooper and suck them off until you get a day off like Ferris Bueller. Shove me in the freezer with dry ice and try to tell me who's cooler. Senior in this game, bitch, I am no junior. Morbid, so I guess it's fuck my sense of humor. Still have me on your mind like a tumor. So now it's boom, headshot just like that first person shooter. Buy a ring for the game and if they have nothing cuter, come back near close and try to strangle the fuck out the jeweler. Then use the gold from the shop to crown myself the new ruler. Bigger than Kim's ass, I'm about to blow up on your computer. I hunt every day to find myself a new cougar. I'm gonna be the illest, I just live in the future. I'm the illest rapper, every day they're fewer and fewer. I'm so sick, I'm like your mom sitting and shitting in the sewer. People say I'm great, okay thanks, well that's fucking super. Kill it in the state, on the road like I was a trooper. Super villain with a plan, I go and call it Lex Luthor. R.A.P. more fucked up than a bitch with one tit working at Hooters.
Like holy fucking shit, that was messed up a bit.
Or maybe I'm just messed up, bitch. I never leave my house without my fuck another rapper kid. If you don't wanna suck a dick, you could just do like a Jewish doctor and accept a tip. Rappers spit it so excellent, spit shit every day, you enjoy the excrement. You kill a song, bitch, that is irrelevant. People hate me because I'm sort of arrogant. I just want success, money, and bitch, I'm telling you that I ain't sharing it. Smoke opiums after crack, chilling with Jaren, bitch. R.A.P. killing it is motherfucking definite. Rap is so fucked, but spit it so elegant. You delicate pussy bitch who's also probably celibate. I leave you on an island or a desert that's desolate. Then you could fuck yourself or take a dick from an elephant. Ass so wide you could sit on your grandfather's settlement. You think you're dope, but I have yet to see some hard evidence. My rap game is infinite, the most nimblest exhibitionist. Standing next to my mind, there is nothing equivalent. Have rappers shitting bricks when I rhyme so intricate. Even Biggie Smalls would be saying, damn, magnificent. But no one's heard of me, so I feel like imprisonment for killing the game and sticking my dick in an immigrant. Run this game till I tear a ligament. Tell you rappers you're insolent, impotent for a little sense of belittlement. The king in waiting, you're just the next participant. Hate yourself and hate rap, you're in a tough predicament. This might actually mean something significant, but for the rap crown, I'm telling you you that I am the next recipient. I said I was a villain, so I must stay vigilant. People ask how I come up with stuff so brilliant, because rap is my dream and people know that I'm resilient. I slayed a shit out of a fucking Brazilian. What? That was just a little random. Fuck it, I injure couples on a bike while that bike is tandem. I steal his wife and I send him that note for ransom. And when he brings the money, his wife's hand, I hand him. And I say, hey man, thanks for the hand job. You might think I'm fucked, but others think I'm a man god. When I spit my shit, there was nothing damn wrong with talking about murders, drugs, and sex on a motherfucking damn song. What? Yeah. And that was R.A.P. My name is Rhythm and Poetry.